Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope my voice is clear. So let me know if there is any trouble so that we can discuss further. Okay. So let's start with the today's topic. Basically, I'm going to discuss about this the platform we called it as a Hadoop developer. Now, most of you, those who people join in this training, they are maybe looking forward to start their career as a Hadoop developer. There are multiple different names that people are calling to this profile. Some people are calling it as a data engineer. Okay. Some people are also calling it as a Hadoop developer. Some people are also calling it as a Spark developer. Okay. So depending upon at the end, both all these things are coming to the same part only. So now let's try to understand like what is the demand of this technology and what exactly we are trying to achieve with this technology. So while working with this IT industry for so many years, we have learned the different technologies, starting from your Linux, then Oracle, then we have multiple web development platforms are there, right? So what is this data engineer? Like nowadays, everything is based on the data only. Okay, if you have huge amount of data, then you can utilize those data to increase your business. Now the strategy has been completely changed. If you try to understand the strategy of the current world is, if they have huge amount of data, can I use those huge amount of data, can I use this huge amount of data that I'll get small amount of data by processing it, and by using this small amount of data I can increase my business, I can earn in dollar. So all these company, if you talk about any company, like if you talk about the Amazon Prime, Netflix, Facebook, any big companies, your Google ads, AdSense, everything is based on the data only. So the thing is like what this Hadoop is doing over here, what is this Spark is about, what is this data engineer all about? Nowadays, there are multiple technologies are there. Like if you talk about the data scientists are there, then we have Spark developers are there. Spark developer having a huge demand in the market nowadays, huge demand. Multiple companies are looking for good Spark developer. They are not getting it right now. And every technology is having some saturations also. Okay. So let's try to understand about this Hadoop developer first. What exactly we are going to learn with this technology. So when I discuss about the data, we have a different type of data are available. Data means it can be your structural data. If I divide the data can be divided into the three parts. It can be your structural data, it can be your semi-structural data, or it can be your non-structural data. It can be any type of data. Now, what is meant by structural kind of data? Structural kind of data means the data which can be stored, in the form of rows and column. That is, we called it as a structural data, like table. So let's say I have a CSV file. Let's say I have one CSV file is there. That CSV file have huge amount of records are there, like one, then your name is XYZ, then your salary. This is your first record. Let's say you have a second record like 2, the name is LMN and the salary is 3,000. Likewise, you have huge amount of data is there. Can I do one thing? Can I store this data into my table? Yes, it is possible. Why? Because this data is having some format, like this one can be your ID, this second column can be your name, and this third column can be your salary. So I can create a table called ID, name, and salary, which will store my data in the form of table. So when you have a data which can store in the form of table, we called it as a structural type of data. We called it as a structural type of data. Okay. Now let's try to understand about what is meant by semi-structural kind of data. Semi-structural kind of data means the data which can be stored in the form of like JSON, XML. This is your semi-structural data. Now, this kind of data directly you cannot store it into the table. There should be something. Let's say I have one JSON file is there. Let's say we have a JSON file is there or XML file is there. We need to create it into some format, and after that you can place it into the table. If you know that earlier version of your Oracle database was not able to process your data which was in semi-structural kind of data like JSON and XML. Nowadays with the current version it is possible. So let's say when I have a huge amount of data which is coming in the form of JSON and XML, can I process this data? Yes, with the help of Hadoop technology. And third type of data is we called it as a non-structural data. Means such a type of data which cannot be placed in the form of table. Let's say your log file, which is completely unstructured. There is not a format like some log file. You know, if you talk about any technology, your alert log file will be there. Alert log file. Any file which is not having perfectly structure. Now, if you see this CSV file, this is having a structure like ID, name, and salary. This is structured. But let's say instead of 1, 2, and after that here element is coming. Do you think that it is a correct structure? No. So any time which is having a non-structural data, so by using these structural, semi-structural, and non-structural, all this type of data can be processed with the help of technology. We call it as a big data. Your Hadoop, you can process it. It's possible. Now let's try to understand the next part. Why Hadoop came in the picture? What was the reason why Hadoop came in the world? See, basically, if you talk about the database like Oracle database, let's say this is my Oracle database. Oracle database can be stored your maybe 1 terabyte of data, 2 terabyte of data, 3 terabyte of data. But there will be a situation where your data, if it is going in, let's say 100 terabyte of data, Oracle will not be able to process such type of big amount of data. It will be very difficult. You cannot process with the help of any RDBMS database like Oracle or MySQL, any RDBMS database. So you need a platform through which you can process huge amount of data. I have a laptop which is having 16 GB of memory and my storage is 1 terabyte. This is my laptop configuration. Let's assume that this is my laptop configuration. Now, how much data I can process it at a time? 16 GB of data only I can process it at a time, maximum. So if I want to process 32 GB of data, will it be possible for me right now? Yes, but it will be second time. So any data which cannot be processed by my normal system, we called it as a big data. Any data, okay? It can be any data. So for me, 32 GB is also a big data because my system is having 16 GB. And my process is i7. This is my processor. So any data which cannot be processed by my i7 processor, that is a big data. If you give me a huge amount of data, let's say 1 petabyte of data, it's not possible for me to process such amount of huge data with my laptop. I cannot do that. My system will be hanged. My system will go into the hung state. It's not possible. So that is called big data. Big data is a problem. It's a problem. Then what is Hadoop? Hadoop is a solution to your problem. Hadoop is solution. So what happened when Hadoop came? Hadoop was not coming with the only one component. Hadoop was coming with the multiple component because we have different type of data is there. Like, so when I'm talking about Hadoop is coming with the multiple component. Like, so if I talk about Hadoop component, so we have a first component which is really important component. We called it as HDFS, Hadoop file system. So when you want to learn about the Hadoop technology, the first thing you need to learn is HDFS, which is your Hadoop file system. What is this Hadoop? This HDFS is basically your storage. This HDFS is basically your storage in the Hadoop. The problem is if I'm using a storage like my normal file system like my Windows or Linux, the block size is very small. Let's like in KB only, maybe 16 KB or 8 KB. It's very small in size of our normal file system. But if you talk about HDFS file system, the block size is 256 MB or 128 MB, depend how much you want to configure. So what is block first of all? Okay, there will be a question in your mind like what is block, right? So let's say this is my hard disk where you're placing your data. Don't think that the data will be placed on the top of your hard disk, nothing like that. This hard disk is basically a small portion of your block. Okay. If it is HDFS file system, your Hadoop block size will be 128 MB. If this is 128 MB, this is 128, this is 128, this is 128. Likewise, this is all 128 MB. It means this block can store 128 MB of data at a time. This block can store 128 MB of data at a time. So if I have a file of 1 GB, 1 GB equals to 1024 MB. So if I have a block size of 128 MB, how much block it will take? 1024 divided by 128, around, let's assume that it is 9. So it will take only 9 block to store my data. 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise 9 block. But let's assume that you are not using HDFS, you are using your normal file system. Normal file system will have a block size, let's say 8 KB. 8 KB, it's not MB also, KB. So you can understand that how many block it will consume. And when it will consume a lot of block, if you are not using HDFS, there will be a huge amount of metadata and your processing will be really slower. In that case, your HDFS play an important role. There are many things are there in HDFS, but in one session, it is not possible to cover each and everything. So whenever we are discussing about storage in Hadoop, we basically store our data on the top of HDFS. And how, whether it is difficult to learn the HDFS? No. This HDFS is same like your Linux operating system only. Your Linux command will only work on HDFS. Let's say, you know the basic Linux command like ls-lrt, right? So same ls command will be written into the HDFS like HDFS dfs -ls. -ls you need to be. What is this? This is just a prefix saying like, boss, I'm using Hadoop file system. This is just a prefix. So whenever you are using any Linux command in HDFS, you need to use this prefix called HDFS dfs. And let's say you want to remove, you need to use rm command. This is rm command, ls command, all are your Linux command only. But if you use this prefix, it will be your HDFS command. So if you have some knowledge about Linux command, you can easily understand HDFS. And anyway, I'm going to cover this Linux also with as a part of this course, so there is no problem. Okay. Now, the second component, we called it as a scoop. What is scoop? Scoop is basically useful to import and export. What scoop is doing? Import and export. What is this import and export? Let's say you have a data available in your RDBMS database. It can be your any RDBMS database. Let's say your RDBMS like your Oracle database. This is your Oracle database. In your Oracle database, you have the data is available. Now what happened, like you want to process this data, okay? You want to process this data with the help of Hadoop. So obviously you need to store this data into your Hadoop ecosystem, right? On your HDFS. So whenever you are in a situation where you need to move your data from RDBMS to Hadoop, you need to use Scoop. What Scoop will do? Scoop will import the data from your Oracle to HDFS, or it can export the data also from here to here. Both the things is possible. So whenever you are in a situation where you need to deal with RDBMS to Hadoop, Hadoop to RDBMS, you need to use a component called Scoop. Very important. Now there are multiple other things are there, like what Scoop is doing, how it is happening and everything. Okay. So we are going to learn about that. The third component, again, which will come in the picture, we called it as a Hive. What is Hive? Hive is basically a kind of database into the Hadoop ecosystem. Kind of database. It's not a database. Don't consider Hive like your a normal RDBMS database. Normally, in India, we have a banking system like SBI, SDFC, SDFS, SDFC. So, in that banking system, whenever I'm doing a transaction, let's say I'm creating an account or doing some transactions, a database will be there, right? Behind the scene, some database will be there. So transactional database means it can be your Oracle database, right? Most probably it will be Oracle database. So can I replace Oracle with Hive? No. Because Oracle is following a property, we called it as ACID property: automaticity, consistency, durability, isolation. All those property will be, which cannot be done with the help of Hive. Now what is Hive then? Hive is a data warehouse. Hive is a data warehouse. Let's say I have a huge amount of data available here in my Hive. Let's say I have a huge amount of data is available with me. Can I do one thing? And I observe that this data is kind of structural kind of data. Structural. I can give some structure to this data. So what I will do, I will move this data to my Hive tables. I'll move this data to my Hive tables. It's possible. So that when it is a part of your Hive table, let's say now this is in the form of your rows and column. When it is in the form of rows and column, now what I can do on this Hive table, I can run my SQL queries. Select. I can run my SQL queries. You cannot do update. Update will not be supported by your Hive by default. You cannot do that. So let's say I have a huge amount of data is there with me, and if I want to process those data with the help of SQL queries means if I'm running a SQL queries, then I will get some meaningful data. That time you are using Hive. Hive is your data warehouse. So most probably in real-time project, what we do, we place our data into the Hive tables. Let's say this is my Hive table 1, this is my Hive table 2, and we will do a join on this table, and meaningful report we will try to fetch it from there. We will get some report. We'll get some report by doing some joining based on your project requirement to requirement. We will do that. And this report will be seen by your business analyst. They will check, your data analyst team, they will check whether by looking to their report, they will try to increase the business by looking to their business, by looking to this report only. It can be any report. So what my role as a data engineer is, when I am getting a files for raw files from the client, my responsibility to place that files into the Hadoop tables, do the processing based on the logic provided by them, and provide them a result. That's what I'm doing. And now the component which I'm going to touch, okay, we called it as a Spark. Now what is Spark? Nowadays, whenever you go for an data engineer profile, definitely you will find a lot of question based on the Spark, because Spark is a technology which is really booming nowadays in the market. But before you go to the Spark, you should have a knowledge about all these components. So what is Spark? Spark is a technology which can do a lot of work. Like what we do in Spark. See, when I was discussing about the Hadoop, the problem was it can process only batch processing. It can only process batch type of data. Let's assume that I want to process my real-time data. Now, what is batch processing data and real-time data? First of all, that is the first question, right? Batch type of data means the data which is historical data. Okay, let's assume that it's a historical data. What happened? I'm daily getting a file from the client. Let's say I'm getting a file. Yesterday I got the file. The yesterday's date was 2022, then 02 and 12. So I got the data of 12th of February. 12th of February data, I got it from client. So as soon as I got the file from the client, I'll process it. And finally, I'll process it with the help of Hadoop. Means this data, I'll place it to my Hadoop table. I will do some logic, and finally, I'll give an output. So what happened here? I'm getting a file of this date, and then my job will run. My job time will be fixed over here. Okay, let's say my job will run by 6 p.m. So if I'm getting a file by 3 p.m., I'll process it by 6 p.m. Next day, again, I will get a file of next date. What is the next date? 13 February. Then I'll process it on 6 p.m. So it's not like as soon as I'm getting a file, I'm processing it. No, I need to wait for some time. But what happened? There will be such a type of data. We called it as a real-time data. Real-time means continuously you will be getting a data from the source continuously. Now, can I do one thing? Can I process it with the help of Hive? No, it's not possible. Continuously means, let's say, you take any example like cricket. What will happen? When the players are playing this cricket, continuously the ball will be going, someone will run, and all this, the chart will be there, right? I want this pie chart. Okay, so now this is the run, this is the run. I want such type of pie chart. As soon as the new ball is getting hit, So such a type of data, we called it as a streaming kind of data. We need to process this data with the help of streaming framework, and that is possible with the help of Spark. Spark can do batch processing plus streaming. Both the things can be possible with the help of Spark. It's possible. Now earlier, I was discussing like whenever you want to do some export from RDBMS to Hive or Hive to RDBMS, we were using Scoop. So we were learning a lot of different utilities, like we were learning your Scoop specific to get a data from your RDBMS. Can I do one thing? Can I use a Spark technology to make a connection to my RDBMS and get a data? Yes. Spark have the ability to connect to your RDBMS also. It can connect to your RDBMS, get a data and process it. So you don't need to learn the Scoop. Nowadays, you don't need to learn the Scoop because everything will be done with the help of your Spark only. And the most important use of your Spark is really, really faster. Really faster. It's really faster compared to your MapReduce. So we have two processing engines are there right now. Okay, there are multiple. These is also there, but most probably we are talking about MapReduce and Spark. So whenever you are running any job with Hive or Scoop, whenever you are running any job with Hive or Scoop, that will be processed with the help of MapReduce. Now, what is this MapReduce? Okay, obviously there will be a question in your mind. It's a processing engine. Okay, it's a processing engine. But this MapReduce, the problem with the MapReduce is it is very slow because it performs all the operation on disk level. Now, let's say you are getting one file, CSV file, you are doing some filter. That filter data, it will store it on disk. Again, you want to read that file. Again, you want to do one more filter. Again, you are storing that result into the disk. Lot of writing, lot of reading. It is writing into the disk every time. Can we have a mechanism which will perform most of the operation on memory level? Yes, that is possible with the help of Spark. Spark can process your data on the memory level also, unless and until you don't want to write it. Everything will be on memory. So that is why MapReduce has been replaced by, Spark. There will be always a confusion in between the people, like, does Spark replace Hadoop? No, because Hadoop is all about two things. One is storage and another is processing. So what is the processor we were using? Processing engine, we were using MapReduce. What about the storage? Storage was HDFS. Did we replace HDFS with Spark? No, we did not replace. Spark does not have his own storage. Spark does not have his own storage. So whenever you are processing any file with the help of Spark and you want to store your output, the output will be stored in your HDFS only at the end. Your output will be stored in your HDFS only. So Spark is a processing engine, and for storage, you are using HDFS. But it's not like you are going to use only HDFS. Now, if you talk about the cloud, let's say you're talking about AWS or maybe GCP. So the storage will be your different. Let's say you're talking about AWS, then it will be S3 storage, okay? But all this, all these storage are your distributed file system. DFS, distributed file system. What is DFS, right? I'll just take a very small example of distributed file system. I'll just take a small example of distributed file system. What is this? Let's say you are storing your file of size 100 GB. This is my 100 GB file. You know what will happen when it gets stored to the Hadoop cluster? Hadoop cluster means, what is cluster first of all? Okay. I know like we cannot cover each and everything with the single webinar. It's not possible. We can have obviously we will need a lot of different sessions. But let me put a very simple thing. What is cluster? Cluster is, okay, cluster is, you can say that when multiple computers are connected to each other. Let's say this is my first computer. A computer in the Hadoop world, we call it a node. Okay. This is my first node. This is my second node. This is my third node. This is my fourth node. We can have multiple nodes. So when you are saying that you want to store your 100 GB of file, when you are saying that you want to store your 100 GB of file, your 100 GB of file will not be stored at one location. It will be distributed among multiple node. Node means you can consider that it is a one computer only, which is having his own CPU, own memory. This is also having his own CPU, own memory. This is also having his own CPU, own memory. This is also having his own CPU plus own memory. Now, when I'm saying that it's a cluster, cluster means they are connected to each other. They are connected to each other likewise. Okay. They are not working independently. They are connected to each other. So when I'm saying that I want to store my 100 GB of file, that 100 GB of file will be splitted into the multiple nodes. So let's say 25 here, 25 here, 25 here, 25 here, 25 GB. Now, since every node have their own resources like CPU and memory, they will process your only 25 GB of data, 25 GB of data, 25 GB of data, 25 GB of data. Now, earlier, only one person was processing a data. Now, there are 4 people are processing a data of 25 GB only, not 100 GB. And all this information will be stored in one more node. We called it as a master node. So basically it is a master slave architecture, master node. And these are all your slave nodes, Master means the person who is managing all these nodes. So this master person, he already aware that I have 100 GB of file, which has been splitted into the 4 people. The 4 people are here. You know everything. Now let's assume that you are connected as a user 1 and you want to read this 100 GB of file. So who will give you address? This master node. This master node will say that, boss, your data is available here, 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 and here. Because this master node have a metadata information, and those person who has metadata information, we called it as a name node. And the people who are actually storing your data, we called it as a data node. So this may are data node 1, data node 2, data node 3, and data node 4. Okay. So I think we can stop here. And just wanted to tell you, like, I'm going to start my Hadoop Spark training in next 2 days. So if anyone is interested, you can join my Hadoop Spark training. I'll just share the details about that training. Okay. What exactly will be available in that training. So I'm going to start this training. Timing will be from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday within 1 week, 4 days. It will be daily 1 hour of batch, daily 1 hour. The timing will be morning 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. IST time, Indian time. So it will be EST will be 11:30 p.m. EST, 11:30 p.m. EST. Duration will be 30 plus hours. What we are going to cover, right? That's the next question. So I'm going to cover, this is my website called learnomate.org, and this is the URL. Let me place it here. So I'm going to cover everything about the big data, Hadoop. We are going to do the installation of your Hadoop. I mainly prefer to have installation. My way of giving a training is like, I like to install the things, because when we are installing it manually on our system, we will get to know about a lot of other configurations also. So we are going to install your Hadoop, Hive, Scoops, Spark, Python, Jupyter Notebook, PyCharm, everything we are going to install it manually. We are going to discuss about HDFS, which is your Hadoop file system, Yarn, which is your resource manager, MapReduce, Hive, Scoop, Apache Spark, and then your Spark with the Python. Like in the Spark, we are going to cover the things. Then Spark SQL. As a scheduler, we are going to discuss about Uzi workflow, crontab. And one more thing which is not available here, this Spark will be based on the Python. So Python separate classes I will take, which is included into this training only. So we will start with the Python, and then we'll start with the PySpark. So that's how we are going to do. The fees of this training will be very, very low compared to the market. It's 9,009 INR or $150 only. Anything you want to ask, guys, let me know so I can take it forward. You can unmute yourself and ask me the things.
Sir, any project are we going to?
Yes. So I completely understand the requirement. Most of the people who are taking a training under me, they are mainly looking for to express their views in terms of project to the interviewer. So we are going to cover projects also. I'll explain the project, which you can show it to the interview, whatever you are going to go in, and that will be there.
And sir, I mean, training like be moreover practical, like writing Spark job, saving data, processing, manipulation.
Everything will be there. If you see in my YouTube channel, by any chance, I'm not sure. I have 10,000 plus people, followers all over the world. So my way of teaching is like everything will be practical only. And if you want to know about the reviews and everything, like I have attached a lot of screenshots here. Student reviews are there. So you can see the live reviews. Okay, it's not like just copy paste. Everything is available.
One more thing, sir. Like Spark developer or kind of Hadoop developer. So if you go for the interview, companies required some data structure or kind of before. I mean, they take idly test. Uh, are these prerequisite for this test, or it's okay Python and then start with
See,
PySpark?
basically, the data structure and everything will be available. It's not about the, first of all, wherever I'm, as per my experience, like that is for the fresher level. Okay, data
Okay.
structure and whatever they are asking. Nowadays, what companies are doing, few companies, not all the companies, they are giving some sort of coding interview, some sort of, okay.
Mhm.
So, and again, like they don't want everything, and most probably, like if you're experienced people will never go such type of company also, because they know like there are huge amount of vacancies are available all over the world. Huge, actually, I'm telling you honestly, huge vacancies are going on for this path. And if you have a knowledge, this is the right time actually, because the saturation will come into the technology obviously after some time.
Uh-huh.
So even uh, companies are saying like if you have some basic knowledge, take him, something like that. It's happening,
Okay.
but the
Okay.
competitions are continuously increasing now. If you are big, field, like I still remember when I started my career as a Hadoop developer, people were asking what is Spark. That type of question they were asking. What is Spark? Now the level of interview question is keep on increasing, because that time people were not working on Spark. Now people are working. So the competition, I'm not saying that the level of competition is too high. The level of competition is too low compared to the other technologies. Basic knowledge, or you can easily crack the interview, because multiple options are there. I saw one person is getting 10 offers also. It's possible, specific to this technology.
Got it.
Any more questions?
Yes, I have one question. Actually, I'm looking a course which will cover all aspects regarding the CCA 131 exam. Actually, I'm working as a data engineer,
Hmm.
big data engineer. So my company wanted to crack this exam like CCA 131. So is there any course you will teach in coming days or months?
In coming days, maybe, because right now my target is job oriented. Honestly speaking, even I'm taking another classes also, which is on Oracle DBA. So my way, like basically intention is like to not to crack a certification. Basically, my intention is to go with the job orientation purpose, like where the people can switch their job, or they can achieve their first job as a data engineer.
Okay, okay. So, uh, is there any teacher or instructor you recommend us regarding the CCA 1 exam?
I am
Actually,
not sure.
I'm not too much expert in the field of big data. I'm also a new person, so wanted to know more about this stuff.
See, there
I
are
believe.
multiple trainers are there.
Mhm.
They are really, really good. But I don't think so. Someone is taking the course based on specific to certification level. I don't think so. Everyone is having their own pattern, own level of syllabus they are covering, and also everyone have their own fees also. So I don't know. Like you can search it online, but yes, I can say that all over the world, multiple people are there, and there are like few are there doing a very very good jobs. So
All
I
right.
think you can do.
Okay. And in this course, you will cover the cloud era related stuff as well.
Yes.
Okay. So you will start from the cloud era and then install
See, I'll
as
tell
the
you one
services
thing.
on
The
the.
problem is like the with the cloud era is if you use the cloud era, na, you need minimum 12 GB of RAM, and most of the candidates do not have good amount of RAM. I observed in my previous batches also. So what I usually do, if you do see the good thing is about the Cloudera is if you use Cloudera, na, you don't need to install anything. You will get
Hmm.
it everything. Okay. But the thing is like if you already have everything, how will you understand about the configuration also? Right? If you everything is available, you will not understand each and everything. Like I'll just take a small example. Like we have a file called hdps site.xml, right?
Hmm.
If the installation is already done, you will not touch to this file anytime in your life. You will never touch, because as a developer you don't need to touch it also. But when you are becoming experienced, you should know what is this file about. So that is possible only when you are doing the installation on your own. That is why in my training, I added a specific installation from our side. So what we will do, we will install a Ubuntu, only plain Ubuntu, and on the top of it, we are going to install one component, each and every component manually from our side. Everything we will do it manually.
Okay, so in this training you will cover Zookeeper also,
No, Zookeeper,
Impala.
no, Zookeeper.
Okay, got it.
Because when it comes to the Zookeeper, now most probably it will go to the admin level of things, and then Kafka will come into the picture.
Yes, I am actually I am a DevOps engineer, but my company is trying to give me some sort of task related to big data administrator. So that's why we have some clients. So I need to put my efforts.
No, you
And
can also join the big data admin. There are different people out there actually. They will only discuss about the Zookeeper, only discuss about this installation. Also, they will discuss. They will discuss about Cloudera Manager, how to configure it, everything. That is a different training actually. There are two roles are there here. One is developer role, another is admin role. So our training is specific to the developer, but there are certain things which I'm also including as an admin level.
All right. So in coming days, you will start training for specific to administrator.
Not sure. I don't have any plan right now.
Okay.
See.
Your way of teaching is actually too good. I understand lots of things, which is not new for me, but but I got too much trouble to understand. But through this, your training, like demo, so you gave us like very smoothly.
Thank you
So
so
this
much.
is very good.
Thank you.
Right. Me too. I mean, I've attended, 2, 3 demo on big data. Hadoop things, but the way you explained is very awesome. Awesome, really.
Thank you so much, guys. Because
I,
I'm yes.
I'm from non-technical background. Let me
Okay.
tell you, from arts background. I'm trying to switch into this IT industry. I've done data science also, but now the requirement is like that. They're asking some big data things also. So I've been following you on WhatsApp, many times since long,
Okay.
and whenever you put on the status, last time you put Oracle training, but it wasn't my interest, so I
Okay.
saw today only that you are going to conduct this, and then I approach for this.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Many people from my Hadoop training are getting placed with the multiple organizations. Oracle have somewhere restriction, like maybe let's say you are getting 10 calls in Oracle, but Hadoop Spark you are getting 100 calls, and that's why the response is also really really good. So if someone is putting up some sort of efforts now, I can take a guarantee that you will get selected. Morning 2 person joined me for this before taking this demo itself. 2 people joined by looking to my YouTube videos. So I clearly said them that you'll get a job. And many people from my previous batch also, they are working as a data engineer now with different companies. So it's possible if you have some basic knowledge now, and if you're ready to put the efforts, definitely you can crack the interview. And I'll make sure that you will understand each and everything, whatever I know. Okay. See why my fees is very low compared to the market, because now I want to capture the people. Okay. And I want to share my knowledge as much as I can. If you join me after 3 months, my fees will be double. So that's how it works. I'm really sorry. I'm going a little out of track, but just since you're asking me.
Ankush, I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
So you said you are going to start at 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock IST time.
Yes.
Okay, so it will be 10:30 for us in EST.
Where are you staying?
I'm in EST time.
EST, no, it will be 11:30, I guess. Let me check.
No, it will be 10:30.
10:30, okay. Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you said right 11:30, so I thought of that. I mean, there will be again. We have you know um, daylight savings will come, and it will be 1 hour ahead again. So I thought of that it will be 12:30 when March comes. So it will be very
Because
difficult
of
for
that
me,
only,
right?
I'm a little bit getting confused all the time, like
Sure.
11:30 or 10:30.
Sure. Now it is 10:30. So
Okay.
if it is 9 o'clock, definitely it will be work for me. So
Okay.
1 hour, and yeah, that is clear. And the second question is how we can going to practice, and once you're done with the right. I mean, yeah, maybe you covered it. I joined late.
See, basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the installation on each and every system. Like what I will show you how to install this Hadoop, okay, on your personal laptop. Okay. So you will also do the installation with me. I'm going to provide you the recording also.
Sure.
It will be read-only access. So you can follow the things. And my way of teaching is like, after the training, don't think that you are there, I am here, something like that. Not like that.
Okay, right.
Till the time I am here, reach out to me anytime. Okay. Whenever I'm getting a free time, we can discuss and we can close. I can take your control also. I can take your control and we can see the things. It's possible.
Okay, so you mean what I understood is like we will install ourselves and we can practice not.
I will show you how to install it. Don't worry.
Okay. Not through any VMware, just installing like directly.
No, VMware. We are going to use. I'll show you if you want to see. See here. I have already one machine with me. So this is my VMware workstation, and this is my. See here. This is my Hadoop training. Okay. This is my VM machine. So this is there with me. It will be there with you also after the training. Means before once we start the training.
And each and every class will be recording and it will be available for us, right? Throughout life.
On the same day.
For referring.
On the same day.
And then, sir, what is the minimum requirement for the configuration? I mean, it is going to be two node cluster or
no, we are not creating any cluster here right now. It will be standalone computer. Okay. But as a developer, you don't need to worry about it is a two node cluster or single node cluster. You don't need to worry. You will not understand also. Because at
my
the end
computer is i3. My computer is i3 and it
what's
has
your
two
memory?
Memory? Memory is I mean above 800 GB available.
100 GB? No, that's not possible. It will be
no,
8 GB.
Okay, I mean RAM.
RAM.
That's 6 GB. 6 GB.
6 GB will be little low. You need to upgrade it to the 12 GB at least. Just purchase a new RAM. Na? It will just cost you around 2,000-3,000 rupees and update it. Upgrade it.
It's an old one laptop.
i3 still. I was using i3 only till now. i3 I was able to upgrade to 12 GB.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I was using i3 only. But now then I purchased this new laptop. Now this is having good configuration actually. So I have completed so many training on my i3 laptop. So see, like if you can do.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, I can take it on cloud also. But the thing is like in 10,000, my charges will go in cloud only. So that's what I'm taking. But what I will do, like if on users demand, few lectures I'll take it on cloud also.
But then we'll have to again create EC2 instance and that would be cost for us also.
No, you don't want to make, you can just see now. I will bear the cost from my side.
Okay.
Any more question, guys?
Yes, I just need to know about the difference between the Hadoop developer role and the Hadoop administrator role. So both
See,
work on same components or different components?
no, actually, what happened like it's not about the Hadoop only. Every technology will have admin and developer, like Oracle developer, Oracle admin, MySQL developer, MySQL admin. So everyone
Mhm.
have developer role and admin role. So what developer will do is developer will do the development. Do the development. Development means they will write down the code. If you're talking about Oracle developer, they will write down the SQL queries. What admin people will do? Admin people will mainly look for the cluster level configurations, like how many clusters should be there. Like I have shown you one diagram, right? 4 node cluster, right? So that cluster will be configured by your admin people, but as a developer the cluster will be already configured. You just need to write down the code over there. Only you need to write down the code. You don't need to install anything. Let's say you want to stop your cluster, Hadoop cluster. Who will do that? Admin people, not a developer team. Developer will not have access to that. Okay. So whenever you are discussing about cluster level configuration, everything will be handled by your admin people. One more thing. Let's say you want to know whether this cluster is up and running or not. You want to do some health check. Who will do that? Admin people. So every company will have 2 teams. One is an admin team, another is a developer team. But developer will have always a good package compared to the admin. Why? Because developer needs to develop the application every time, right? Every time the requirement will get changed. That things. Okay.
All right, got it.
And if you are interested, then my contact details, let me put it here. I think I missed to do that. So my email ID is push.thavali. Everything is available on my website also, or you can also reach out to me on my WhatsApp. Okay, so it will be +91 9960262955. Okay, I think we are good. Anyone have any last question related to the training? No. All right, then thank you so much for joining, guys. I hope you find this training useful. Let's connect with the in the class.
All
Okay,
good. Have a nice
thank you.
day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.